this is crazy. I've never heard music where people are rhyming words and cursing. I'm like, hey, I'm like asking my sister, what is this?
Pin it, Trump. All right, guys, this next guest, man, he's been in the music business for so long. He's done a little bit of everything from being an MC to a journalist to being the director of BeatStars Publishing and so much more. I'm talking about the one and only Mike Trampe.
Let's go. Give me that a round of applause. I like that. I like that.
Oh, I see the dog in the back too, man.
Yeah, my bad. They literally just started barking because someone was walking a dog, so I had to mute really quick. But yeah, that's the Pug Life crew. Uh, there was 4. Unfortunately, I lost one about 3 years ago, and I just lost one about a month and a half ago, man. So it's been a rough,
man,
last 2 months. Yeah, the eldest of the squad. So if you want to check them out, you can get them on a Pug Life crew on Instagram.
Got
So
you, man.
yeah, that's
I'm sorry
the squad.
to hear that. It's always tough to lose dogs. They really become your family members.
Bro, you're with them every day, and I've worked from home for 20 years now, so I've always had dogs with me. So it's, you know what I mean? It's like your companion during the day. So they hear when I'm upset, they hear when I'm happy, they hear it all, and they still love you no matter what. You know what I mean? They're just like, yo, let's chill. Let's
They
relax.
are the true definition of unconditional love.
Facts, dude. Facts. I
Yeah.
love animals, man. But yeah, the Pug Life crew's here. They're chilling. That's Smokey in the background. The latest, he's the puppies of a year and a half. So yeah, he's here, man. He's chilling. Let's go.
All right, man. Well, let's start at the beginning. So you're originally from Philly, right?
Yeah, Philly surrounding area. I've lived in all the counties. People who are familiar with Philly will understand what I'm saying. So I was in and out, but born and raised in Philly. Then I moved out into the counties, and then I ended up moving back to Philly. And then right before I moved from Philly, about 10 years ago to New Jersey, I was in like Northeast Philly. So to the people who understand what Philly is and the surrounding areas, everybody will understand that. Everybody else will have no idea unless they want to go look it up. But yeah, so my roots are there, man, and my roots go actually pretty deep within Philadelphia sports culture. My great-grandfather was the president of the Philadelphia Eagles back in the 60s. He was actually supposed to turn into the commissioner of the whole NFL before the Super Bowl was created, but he ended up recommending someone else for the job. So I have a lot of roots there, and then my great-uncle worked for the Eagles for like 40-some years. Obviously they're both deceased at this point, but he worked there for 40-some years, and he's one of the only non-players or coaches that is in the Eagles Hall of Fame. So you can go take the tour at the stadium, and my great-uncle's in there. His name is Jimmy Gallagher, and my great-grandfather's name was Joseph Donahue. So, dude, it runs deep. So I don't have a choice, man, when it comes to Philly overall of what sports I'm into. It's bred into me. So yeah,
That's
man.
crazy, man.
A lot of people don't know that, bro. I don't think I've ever really told a lot of people that publicly. Like people I work with, family obviously knows. People are just like, yo, do you get free tickets? Do you get free tickets still? I'm like, man, I never got free tickets because I was so young earlier on. I'm not going to a game at that age, but ownership has changed hands, right? And so like my family has technically nothing to do with the organization anymore, but they were obviously a big part of it early on. Crazy story too. And then we'll switch to some music stuff. But my great uncle, Jimmy Gallagher, the guy I was just telling you about, he's actually the one that found and drafted John Madden. Okay. So he drafted him. Yeah, listen. So he drafted him to the Eagles. And I don't know when this was, 60s, 70s. Don't quote me on the math, but he brought him in, and he actually, Madden, if you look into this, actually got hurt in training camp, right? So the injury, I think, actually is what messed up his playing career, which turned him into a coach and obviously then an announcer, and obviously the video games, and we could keep going. But early on, that's what happened. So he got hurt at training camp, and my great uncle, actually brought him food, magazines, and a bunch of stuff and chilled with him at the hospital. So that's like how my great uncle was. And it's crazy because a lot of people tell me I have the same similarities. We're just caring people. We want to make sure people are good. We try to go above and beyond when we can. Can't make everybody happy. I'm sure there's some people don't like them, just they don't like me, but we always just try to go. But that's bro, I actually just learned that story in the last 6 months because I was doing a family history thing on that, and I actually found that going through a bunch of stuff, just using AI, also using what the hell is the site, the Ancestry site, all that stuff. But pretty crazy, man. So yeah, Philadelphia sports is like a very big thing in my family and just overall my lifestyle. So we'll probably see. I got some sports stuff in the back. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philly.
And you grew up with one sister?
One. Yeah, I had an older sister. It was her birthday actually on May 10th. Happy birthday to my sister Jen. But yeah, she she was really pivotal in my I don't know if I can say my career because I was so young, but obviously if I wasn't turned on to hip hop music at such a young age, we're talking about 8, 9, 10 years old, when, my brain can start computing what it actually is, at that age. And I remember I heard, You Saw My Blinker Bitch by Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff, which came out on the Home Base album. I think it was 1988, 89. So actually, no, I was younger. I was like 7 then. Um, I was pretty young, but I heard that and I and they were cursing, they were saying bitch, and I'm like, this is crazy. I've never heard music where people are rhyming words and cursing. I'm like asking my sister, what is this? And she was about 2.5, 3 years older than me. So she was obviously still getting hip to stuff. But then as like the early 90s came around and she became a teenager, 13, 14, 15, and I'm a little bit younger. That's when she put me on to Wu-Tang and a lot of these different groups, even like before Wu-Tang, there's stuff she was putting me on to. And the radio was really crazy in Philly back in the day. Power 99, which is still around to my knowledge, because I'm in Jersey now, so I don't get it, but I'm pretty sure it's still around in a big station. But they would play all sorts of crazy stuff back in the day. And then when we would have off Monday for school, me and my sister would listen and they would call it No School Mondays. You could call in. They would just be playing all sorts of crazy hip hop tracks that I never heard before. But yeah, that just developed my love into hip hop from her. And then,
Got you.
yeah, and then eventually I was so into it, just making tapes. Like back in the day, like I hate to sound old back in the day, but back in the day, dude, we had cassette tapes and like I didn't always have money to go buy some blank tapes, right? They had blank tapes. So what you could do is just take Scotch tape and put it over the little holes in the cassette. And once you put that over the holes, you can record over it. So, dude, I was taking like my dad's albums. I remember, like, I think I recorded over like Dark Side of the Moon, probably by Pink Floyd. And like, he was ready to kill me. But like, I was like, I had to record this song I heard on the radio or whatever it was. And that's just how it was, man. Back in the day, we had to be resourceful. So, but yeah, as things progress and people could tell, like, all right, this isn't just like a phase. This guy like is obsessed with music. My parents bought me turntables. Now they weren't Techniques. That's what they were, the big turntables back in the day, the 1200s. We couldn't afford those, so my parents got me some. They weren't belt driven. I forget what the terminology, might be direct driven. I forget what the terminology, but belts were like the really crappy ones you can't scratch on. I did get turntables that actually worked. It just wasn't top of the line. But from there, bro, that's when the fun started because I don't know how old you are or if you ever vinyl shopped, but you could go to a vinyl shop and go buy vinyl, but with the vinyl came multiple things, right? And I tell artists to this day to keep doing this. Like, why? Some people do it, but like release everything, right? And by everything, I mean the vinyl would come with the instrumental, the acapella, the
Mm-hmm.
dirty version if they had one, the clean version, radio version, whatever. So you would get 4 or 5 different things, bro. I would go home, take the vinyls, and I would put, all right, let me grab this beat from something raucous, vinyl I bought that had a bunch of beats on there or something, and then go get the acapella from something else and mash up and make my own remixes. So I would do that, record them, and put them on tapes and give them out to my friends at school. Like, yo,
You
I put
started DJing like around 12, right?
12, 13, yeah, somewhere. I don't even know the exact age because it was, well, how old are you when you're like 12, 18, 12 in 8th grade? Or is it, yeah, give or take, 13, 14, 9th grade? So it was like the year or two before I went to high school. So 7th, 8th grade is when I started. So whatever age that is, it was like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
That's how,
about that age.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
So that's how I started, man. It basically just started making mixtapes, just recording. Then I realized I could plug a mic in and record to it. So I started rapping, everything. It was just, bro, like anybody who makes music knows the feeling I'm talking about. When you figure out what making music is in whatever form it is, and then you understand like how to do it better, and it's just you want to do it every day, all day. Like that's all I cared about. Like in school, like I can't wait to get home and mess with those new records I bought last weekend. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Or I would still even go if I couldn't get vinyls. You still go to Sam Goody on Tuesdays because music used to come out on Tuesdays. Oh, I'd skip school a lot, and go to Sam Goody, and you could buy cassettes that had all that too. Dirty version, clean version, acapella. Like so, I would somehow play one on one radio and have another one and hit record and do this. You could just whatever I had to do. Like it was
So was
fun, man.
DJing your first element of hip hop?
Yes. I always wrote poetry though, so technically you could say rapping. because I wrote poetry. I was in the poetry club, like all these things. Funny enough, like I was in all these things because I like to write. I'm actually a really good writer, just for poetry in general, and then for rapping, I'm a really good. I'm not a bad freestyle. Like I'm pretty good, but I always struggled writing full songs. I would write a crazy verse and a hook, and then be like, I don't have anything else. Like I would just hit writer's block, and so that's why I switched from making music to more on the business side. We can get into that, but um, DJing, I would say, would have to be the first real thing, and then eventually that stopped over time, and rapping became my actual thing. And that's how I met a lot of people.
What was the record that made you feel like this is what I want to do?
I don't even know if there was one, man. It might be that song. That's why I pointed out that Will Smith song, and a lot of
Mhm.
people maybe even heard that song, but it's the same album that "Summertime," which is, I think, one of the best hip hop songs of all time. I don't do rankings. Here are my top 5. I'll just say is one of the best, right? And because I
Right.
have a lot of them. I just love music in general, but, like, that album, everyone will know "Summertime," but a lot of people don't know "You So My Blinker Bitch," and if you listen to the song, it's a very simple song and kinda corny 'cause, that's just how Will was, but that was his personality, what made him so dope, in my opinion. I think he was a pioneer. But the song is literally a story. It's a story about an old lady not paying attention, hitting him in his car, and then going to court with a neck brace and acting like she's this crazy victim when she's the one who cut him off and hit him. So, I like it because it was a story, and, like, at that time, I don't think I heard probably Slick Rick and some of these other people because I was too young and I just didn't care maybe? I don't remember how, but that's the song that I remember hearing being like, "What is this? This is crazy. They're cursing, but it's cool. They're telling this story. It sounds realistic. What is this?" Like, I didn't know. So I'd
Right.
probably say that is the song because that's the one I always would go back and remember to. I probably heard other hip hop songs before it and just at that age didn't sit. It didn't go, "Oh my god, I like this." It was probably just I heard it in passing, maybe. I don't know. My parents didn't listen to hip hop. My sister was a little bit older. I didn't really hang out with her at that age, you know what I mean? So she was starting to get older and have friends, and but as we developed in age, we, formed that bond through music. So I'd probably have to say that song, man. It's a good question, but there's nothing else that jumps out to me that I'm like, "I need to do this." Rapping, maybe a little bit different, probably, like, when I heard Nas and Wu-Tang and Big L and, like, people like that, because I was really into East Coast hip hop, and funny enough, being on the East Coast, I was really big into Snoop, and I think everybody was at that time, Dre and, Eazy-E, and at that point, I'm like, "I wanna rap. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool that you can." I'm big on stories. I love storytelling. I think that's one of the
Mhm.
coolest parts of hip hop, and making someone feel like they're with you or experiencing that thing with you without it. I can really appreciate that. So that's I think I gravitated to a lot of that type of stuff, early on, is the storytelling aspect.